This show is brought to you by KetConnection.com, draft beverage supplies and solutions. KetConnection has the experience and the expertise to get you set up. Tap your favorite craft beer, homebrew, wine, cold brew, kombucha, sparkling water, and more at home with ease using a KetConnection.com dispensing kit. Go to KetConnection.com, use our promo code BNW, that's for Booze News Weekly, and save 10% off your first order. Some restrictions may apply. Visit KetConnection.com for more details. Coming up on this episode of Booze News Weekly, the Brewers Association announces industry award winners, World Beer Cup winners, and more news from the Craft Brewers Conference. It's Monday, May 9th, 2022. Welcome to this episode of Booze News Weekly, your source for weekly beverage industry news and commentary delivered quickly and conveniently. My name is Joshua Stubing. If you haven't already, make sure you click that like button below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification icon to make sure you never miss an episode. Now, let's take a look at the headlines of the week. We've been gone a while, but we have some great news for you coming from the Craft Brewers Conference, which just ended last week. First headline is Brewers Association 2022 Industry Award winners announced. This is from brewersassociation.org. The BA, the not-for-profit trade association dedicated to small and independent American craft brewers, announced this week the recipients of its 2022 Industry Awards. 5 members of the brewing community were recognized and awarded for their dedication and service during the Craft Brewers Conference in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Brewers Association has been recognizing individuals who inspire, defend, and innovate within the craft brewing industry since 1987. New this year was the addition of the Mentor of the Year Award to recognize volunteers who provided outstanding guidance through the fledgling Brewers Association mentorship program and champion those who experience barriers to access and advancement in their professional journeys. Award recipients were nominated by their peers and determined by vote from committees made up of members from the Brewers Association Board of Directors or past award winners. Quote, from inspiring and mentoring future leaders to pushing the envelope of brewing innovation to protecting craft brewers' rights, this year's award recipients have made immeasurable positive impacts on the craft beer community. We are thankful for their contributions to advancing craft brewing and the examples they set for others to emulate, said Bob Pease, President and CEO of the Brewers Association. So the 2022 Industry Award recipients, starting first with the FX Matt Defense of the Industry Award, which went to Sam Hendler, co-founder of Jats Abbey and president of the Massachusetts Brewers Guild. This award is named for the late FX Matt of FX Matt Brewing Company and is presented to an individual or company for their contributions and efforts in championing the small brewing industry. Since stepping into his role as the Massachusetts Brewing Guild president in 2020, Sam Hendler, co-founder of Jats Abbey Craft Lagers, has been a force in the defense of the craft beer industry. Masterful at creating and nurturing key relationships, Sam was able to successfully negotiate one of the most progressive franchise law changes to date, ending a 10-year battle with the beer distributors of Massachusetts. During the pandemic, Sam was in constant communication with the governor's office, the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission, the Brewers Association, and the Massachusetts Restaurant Association, advocating for the brewing industry while helping to translate regulations to guide and reassure the brewing community. Sam is the type of person to always say yes when it comes to advocating for the industry. He is respected by his peers and is generous with sharing resources and knowledge. Sam's contributions to the breweries in Massachusetts and the rest of the country are immeasurable. Congrats, Sam. The second industry award was the Brewers Association Recognition Award, which went to Steve Hendy, the founder of Brooklyn Brewery. This award is presented each year to an individual or company whose inspiration, enthusiasm, and support have contributed to the craft brewing movement. In 1984, Associated Press foreign correspondent Steve Hendy moved back to Brooklyn from the Middle East, where he first discovered homebrewing. A few years later, Steve convinced his neighbor and homebrewing partner Tom Potter to quit his steady job at a bank and join him in starting a brewery. See, Dad, we could do it too. Tom agreed, and they delivered their first batch of Brooklyn Lager to Teddy's in Williamsburg. The bottle bore a logo designed by the legendary Milton Glaser. Thankfully, Steve and Tom succeeded, and today the dream is seen in more than 30 countries on 5 continents wherever Brooklyn Brewery beers are sold. Steve is the author of The Craft Beer Revolution and co-author of Beer School with Tom Potter. In 2020, Steve was named Entrepreneur of the Year by the Entrepreneurship at Cornell. Steve also dedicated himself to the growth of the brewing industry through leadership as chair of the Brewers Association Board of Directors, creator of the association's Market Development Committee, and longtime chair of the PR and Marketing Committee, including the development of the Independent Craft Brewer Seal. Congratulations to you, Steve. The next award was the Russell Scherer Award for Innovation in Craft Brewing. There's an 85% chance I said that last name wrong. It went to Carl Oakert of Carl Oakert Brewing Services. I know I got that one right. This award is presented in honor of Winecoop Brewing Company's Russell Scherer to an individual or company for their innovative contributions to the brewing industry. Carl Oakert entered the world of brewing and began his nearly 4-decade career when Dick and Nancy Ponzi needed a brewer to help design, build, and run their new microbrewery that opened in 1984. Hired as its first head brewer for what was then known as the Columbia River Brewery, Oakert used his fermentation science degree from UC Davis to brew at the pioneering Oregon Brewery. The brewery later became known as Bridgeport Brewing, where he worked until 1990 before taking a position at Anheuser-Busch in Newark, New Jersey. Returning to Bridgeport in 1996, Oakert helped establish it as one of America's premier breweries. He stayed at Bridgeport until 2010 when he left to work as a craft brewing consultant and to take on the role of the technical director at the Master Brewers Association of America. In 2015, Carl returned to brewing, joining Deschutes Brewery as its director of brewery operations. Today, utilizing his experience, his talent for collaboration and teamwork, as well as his broad network of fellow brewers and industry veterans, Carl helps clients both large and small in achieving their goals through his firm, Carl Oakert Brewing Services, LLC. Congrats, Carl. And the last award that was mentioned at Craft Brewers Conference was the Brewers Association Mentor of the Year Award, which went to Annette May and Ramon Tamayo. The Brewers Association's efforts to foster equity in the craft brewing community through its mentorship program has for 15 months connected dozens of mentors with entrepreneurs, professionals looking to develop their knowledge and skills, and those seeking to break into the craft brewing industry for the first time. With the program now in its second year, this new award recognizes a volunteer mentor for their outstanding mentorship to program participants and for demonstrating an extraordinary commitment to championing those who experience barriers to access and advancement in their professional journeys. Annette May is a founding faculty member of the Schoolcraft College Brewing and Distillation Technology program and the first woman to become a certified Cicerone. Annette continues to mentor in the program and provides mentorship in serving and tasting beer and craft beer 101 education for aspiring and advancing professionals. Ramon Tamayo, the brewing manager for Magnolia Brewing Company, continues to mentor the third cohort by providing mentorship in technical brewing and brewer safety to participants in all stages of career development. Congratulations, Annette and Ramon. That's fantastic. It's nice to have people helping newer people throughout the industry. And wrapping up this show, we've got some news regarding the 2022 World Beer Cup winners being announced. Also from brewersassociation.org, more than 10,000 entries from 57 countries vied for recognition in the world's most prestigious professional beer competition, the 2022 World Beer Cup. The rewards were presented in a ceremony Thursday evening at the conclusion of the Craft Brewers Conference and Brew Expo America at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Returning after cancellation in 2020 due to the pandemic, I don't know if y'all knew about that, the 2022 World Beer Cup was the largest competition to date with 10,542 entries from 2,493 breweries representing 57 countries. Entries were evaluated by an elite panel of 226 judges from 28 countries. Couldn't have been that elite. They didn't ask me to judge. Competition judging took place in 18 sessions over 9 days, and judges bestowed 307 out of 309 total possible awards, reflecting the opportunity for 1 gold, silver, and bronze award in each of the 103 beer style categories. Note, No gold or silver was awarded in category 68, which is the Belgian-style wit beer. I couldn't find any info as to why there weren't gold or silver in that category, so just insert joke here about how that style is not good because even they didn't want to award gold or silver. Kidding aside, quote, the World Beer Cup showcases the incredible breadth and talent of the global brewing community, said Chris Swersey, competition director for the World Beer Cup. He continued, winning an award at this extremely competitive event symbolizes one of the greatest accomplishments in the art of brewing. Congratulations to this year's winners on their outstanding achievements. Historically, a biennial event, is biennial? I always thought it was biannual. Sorry, I keep interrupting this story. Historically, a biennial event, the World Beer Cup competition will move to an annual event beginning in 2023. It was announced. Brewery registration for the 2023 World Beer Cup will open in October of 2022, with the awards presented May 10th, 2023 at the Craft Brewers Conference, which was announced to be in Nashville, Tennessee. Here's some competition highlights, but if you want to see, you can go into the show notes and click the link below for the complete list of winners. But again, here are some highlights from the competition. The average number of beers entered per category was 102. The most entered style categories, the top 5 were number 1, the American style IPA, which had 384 entries. Number 2 was the Juicy or Hazy IPA, which had 343 entries. Number 3 was the German-style Pilsner, which had 254 entries. The 4th most entered style was the Wood and Barrel-Aged Strong Stout, surprisingly, which had 237 entries. And the 5th most entered style category was the International Pilsner or International Lager, which had 231 entries. The number of countries represented were 57. The countries with the most awards were the United States at number 1 with 252, go USA. Canada at number 2 with 14, not bad. And Germany, number 3 with 11 awards to them. Country with the highest winning rate, believe it or not, was Ireland at 16.67%. And the first-time country winner this year was Colombia, the brewery Paula del Pub from Bogota, I can pronounce that, Bogota, for its Saison con Miel specialty Saison entry. Congratulations to all the winners, and let us know in the comments below after checking out the complete list of winners if you were surprised by any of the results. And I know that was a lot of numbers and stuff, but that'll do it for this week. If you have any tips or industry news, email it to me, Joshua@homebrewhappyhour.com, or use the hashtag BNW on social media. Also, you can find this episode and so much more content and articles available at homebrewhappyhour.com. Make sure you visit our sponsor, KegConnection.com. Use our promo code BNW and get 10% off your first order. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.